September 2nd, 1991.
On this E.D.J., the celebrity police blotter builds up as more famous faces show up in court.
The network's lack of money will show up on the small screen this fall.
I think people are going to stop and they're going to turn away.
The chase is already on to get pictures of Liz Taylor's upcoming wedding at Michael Jackson's ranch.
He's got a Ferris wheel, he's got a spider, he's got a water slide, what looks to be a water slide.
And autograph hounds chase down their quarry outside a Hollywood anniversary party. This weekend's Jerry Lewis Muscular Dystrophy Telethon was marked by protests from some disabled activists. The protests were small, but they had an effect. In several cities, a handful of activists picketed outside Telethon headquarters. They objected to the way Lewis and the Muscular Dystrophy Association raise money, saying they portray the disabled as helpless children who need pity. The criticism apparently hit home. Lewis introduced this year's 21-hour telethon with a defense of his fundraising tactics.
There are some splinter groups, people in a wheelchair that thinks that I pity my kids. There's no pity. I don't ask you to pity them. I ask you to help me keep them alive.
The activists say they'll continue to protest what they describe as groveling for dollars. And they say they want an accounting of how the MDA spends its money. They say only about $40 million of the $120 million MDA budget goes directly to research and patients. Despite the protests, MDA officials hope this year's telethon raises more than last year's record, $44 million.
The celebrity police blotter was loaded this Labor Day weekend. Dear John star Judd Hirsch was stopped by the California Highway Patrol in Hollywood early Saturday morning and booked for drunken driving. After his arrest, Hirsch was released without bail. Singer Billy Preston was formally charged by prosecutors in Malibu with misdemeanor counts of being under the influence of cocaine, showing pornography to a minor, and child annoying. This after Preston's encounter with a 16-year-old boy 2 weeks ago. Preston says his problems with the law are a, quote, total misunderstanding.
And in Cleveland, rapper Joseph Simmons of the group Run DMC pleaded not guilty Friday to a charge of raping a female fan who asked for his autograph. Simmons is free on a $10,000 bond. And finally, former heavyweight champ Mike Tyson showed up Friday to testify before an Indianapolis grand jury. Jury's been investigating a rape accusation against Tyson by an 18-year-old contestant in the Miss Black America beauty pageant.
Mike Tyson says he's innocent, so that's all I'm going with that.
So far, no charges have been filed against Tyson.
With Japanese companies buying up Hollywood studios left and right, many think it's just a matter of time before American movies start to reflect Japanese taste and style. Over the weekend, Mark Bailey attended the premiere of a Japanese-made animated movie, hoping to get a glimpse of things to come. What he got was more than an eyeful.
This weekend marked the official American debut of I Give My All. Based on a Japanese comic book that sells 1.6 million copies a week in Japan, the animated version deals with a young girl's first sexual experiences.
Until recently, the Americans looked at cartoons as something only for children. Japan is ahead of America in terms of using the animated art form to cover a wide range of topics, a wide range of plots that wouldn't be considered in America to be the subject of animations.
Fans of Japanese animation, or anime, got together in San Jose, California. A billion-dollar industry in the land of the rising sun, anime has developed a cult following in the U.S.
Different. Something you're never, ever, ever going to see on American TV in a million years.
Exactly.
I Give My All is an example of a wildly popular art form in Japan, mixing comedy, action, and sex. Japanese cartoon characters doing naughty things with English subtitles. Now, come on. Who's going to pay $35 to see that?
Night? Probably.
Why not?
Thank you very much.
Even though U.S. collectors will spend $1 million on Japanese animation this year, most of the people we talked to thought the Japanese were a little behind in their assessment of American taste.
Well, it looks like a joke to me.
A joke? You be the judge. The first 20,000 American buyers of I Give My All will receive their copy in this original Japanese packaging, but with an added bonus, this pink panty insert.
The magic word for TV production this fall is cheap.
There is a point where you're just turning out junk.
And later, America held hostage. Only 34 more days until Liz Taylor's next wedding. These stories and more when E.D.J. continues. To pull in big ratings, the latest to jump on the emotional bandwagon is Missing Reward.
They had searched for her like 2 weeks every day. The police had looked for her.
Yeah. You're lucky that they did look for her. I had no help. But
Desperate people with frightening stories. Distraught parents brought together last week by producers of a TV show because they have one terrible thing in common. Their children are missing.
he molested him, he beat him, he was horrible, and he beat me real bad. He's just a really violent, vicious person.
Entering its third season, the syndicated TV show Missing Reward has been taping segments in Los Angeles. As with most reality-based programming, the uncensored emotions of real people drive the show.
I don't want to cry. Michael, don't worry about the tears. Don't worry about the tears. It's perfectly natural. It's understandable. The main thing here is that you want them to be with those children, be able to share their life. And the main thing is that those children hear you say that.
Love you very much, and I want you to come home.
The Chicago man has been searching for his wife since 1988, when she allegedly took off with their 6 children.
Not to put the mother of my children in jail. All I want to do is bring them home and have the kids be able to share in the love that we both have for them. Essentially, we want to create an electronic milk carton. We want to do the same thing that milk cartons and billboards and other forms of media have done on television, except in a more dramatic, compelling, information-packed way.
More than 200 applicants didn't make it through the producer's selection process. But the people who did pass the audition get a chance to broadcast a plea for the return of their children. Those tearful pleas are set to be spread out over the 24 new shows that Missing Reward will air this coming season.
Cut. Yeah.
They do okay.
You did great. You did terrific.
And the show is offering a $1,000 reward for information leading to the return of each missing child.
We've been reporting a lot lately on how cost-cutting at the television network has stunted news coverage and spawned a generation of cheaper-to-produce reality shows. Well, the fall primetime season is nearly upon us, and the network budget police are having their way there, too. As Peter Hackett reports, all the money saving will have an effect on what you will and won't see on the small screen.
Can you step here to your right, please, a little bit?
Welcome to Canada, where lower costs and Canadian subsidies have attracted an ever-increasing number of network shoots like this TV movie. Taking productions away from Hollywood was just one of a multitude of cost-cutting tricks of the trade we learned about as we talked to people in the industry.
Here we go.
Fred Gerber, here directing an episode of CBS's Trials of Rosie O'Neill, says it starts with the writing.
Because of the cutbacks, there are probably fewer writers involved on a production staff. So when you come in, you don't get a script in the condition that perhaps would be best.
Gerber says that while writing may be weaker, there is actually greater demand on writers to come up with good dialogue because more and more there's pressure to have the actors talk rather than do.
For instance, this show, Rosie O'Neill, is on, it's set in Los Angeles. There's an incredibly diverse cultural area of Los Angeles that, in fact, we can't go out and shoot because it's too expensive to go outside and shoot it. So you end up shooting 2 people in a room talking about what exists outside.
Where are you, Jake?
For CBS's Jake and the Fat Man, along with fewer expensive locations come fewer costly stunts and less of even inexpensive action details. When somebody gets shot, the gun goes off, yet there's no blood on the victim.
Many of the current cost savings in dramatic TV aren't as evident here on the set as they are back in the offices of the deal makers.
What kind of game do you think this is, huh?
The CBS series Sweating Bullets was planned from the outset to be cheaper to produce because it's shot in Mexico and because it's what's known as a blue sky show.
When you do a blue sky show, which is Magnum, PI, Hawaii 5-0, those kind of shows take place for the most part in the daytime. They're outdoor shows, and they just move faster. They're easier to shoot. They're cheaper.
And nighttime shooting hasn't...
Nighttime is an arduous task. You have tremendous amount of lighting, and everything takes much longer.
Kushner Locke also saved money on HBO's football sitcom First and 10 by scheduling all of the writing first.
We wrote the entire season before we started, so that when we went into this office, if this was the owner's office, we would shoot out 16 episodes. We'd go into the locker room, shoot out 16 episodes, go on the field, shoot out 16 episodes. There's economy of size and economy of motion.
I think we put in a little bit more of the tank tread.
Producer-director Don Ohlmeyer has found savings by shooting his upcoming ABC TV movie, The Heroes of Desert Storm, on videotape, a format common to sitcoms, but rare in dramas or movies.
There are tremendous financial savings in doing a show on tape. We shot some scenes which are the takeover of Kuwait City. We shot really all of those in one day. And had we done that on film, it would have taken 2, 3, maybe 4 days to do.
But with such cost savings and others, like fewer union crew members and fewer hours budgeted to shoot, are viewers getting less as a result?
What you're doing is just minimalist photography in some ways. And it, again, presents a challenge, but I'm not sure that the end result is really quite as good.
I think people are going to stop and they're going to turn away and they're going to tune into other programs. And the network must realize after a while, I hope, that quality programming does get, a loyal audience. But that's gone now.
There is a point where you're just turning out junk. Or where all you can afford to turn out is junk. But I don't think, I may be a voice crying in the wilderness. I don't think we're at that point.
If anyone's happy with what's being left off the screen by the budget cutbacks, it's probably the anti-TV violence groups that have long complained about car crashes and realistic gunplay on television.
When we come back, what some people will do to get into Liz Taylor's wedding.
There'll be people trying to sneak in the bushes. There'll be helicopters.
I learned the latest computer-aided drafting skills at ITT Technical Institute. And I earned my associate degree in less time than it takes to finish college. In drafting, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And the shortest distance between high school and a drafting career is ITT Tech.
Call ITT Technical Institute at 1-800-942-0088 for this informative brochure. That's 1-800-942-0088.
A partnership is an equal give and take. A friendship where two are better than one. But in our partnership with the Earth, something's out of balance. That's why Channel 8 and PGE have joined hands. We've chosen to make a positive difference in the environment. And you have a choice, too. Our Earth Alert tips over the next year will show how you can help bring our planet back into balance. We've begun the push. Now you can join us. PGE and Channel 8 in partnership today for tomorrow.
Hello, I'm Kathy Smith from News 8 with an Earth Alert tip of the week. If you'd like to eat pesticide-free produce, consider starting a community organic garden. It could be in a backyard or an empty lot. Gardens preserve green, open space in urban areas. They not only help clean the air, they're a reminder that there are other things in the world besides cars, streets, and buildings.
This Earth Alert tip from Channel 8 and Portland General Electric.
What makes good evening so good?
Well, it's local. That's why I think it's so great.
The bottom line is, it's a half hour of fun TV.
We're entertainment, but we're information, too.
That's right. We tell you what movies to go to, what the best places to stay are.
And we have fun.
What is the bottom line there, Dave?
What is the bottom line?
It's a half hour of television that is totally captivating.
Enthralling.
You got it.
Great times on Good Evening tonight at 7:30.
"34 days from now, Liz Taylor will walk down the aisle for the 8th time. This time to wed that construction guy, Larry Fertensky. For the celebrity media, the October 6th event at Michael Jackson's ranch is like the World Series, Super Bowl, and Invasion of Normandy all rolled into one. And they're already planning their land and air assault. Jim Watkins reports from the front.
1, 2, 3. Usually, the more often an event takes place, the less news attention it gets. This is not true of Elizabeth Taylor's wedding.
7, 8. Michael Jackson's ranch is marked with a square on the map. Let's do the house now. Let's try a circle around the house.
Celebrity photographer Phil Ramey is on a reconnaissance mission. He's gathering intelligence above Michael Jackson's 2,800-acre ranch.
We're going to figure out what we need to figure out from the air. And it's part of all the advanced work that goes into getting these kind of pictures. You just don't show up and stand at the gate and get them. Right, he's got a Ferris wheel, he's got a spider, he's got a water slide, what looks to be a water slide.
This is the gate to Michael Jackson's ranch. It's quiet and serene now, but on the wedding day, there could literally be hundreds of photographers and reporters waiting here outside, and they'll be the ones who weren't sneaky or resourceful enough to get even closer to the action.
We'll have, of course, the required helicopter, possibly 2 helicopters. And there'll be the ground troops. There'll be 3 or 4 reporters, as well as additional ground photographers.
There'll be people trying to sneak in the bushes. There'll be helicopters. Can't have any submarines here the way we did for Princess Di, but there'll be some surprises.
Despite the impending assault by the world's tabloid press, local media and authorities are taking it more in stride.
We'll cover it probably well, but we're not planning to assign half our staff or lease any helicopters or do anything like our tabloid competitors will do.
So we will have people available to handle anything that might come up, and hopefully it won't. Hopefully we'll come out of this and it'll be a happy day for them and a happy day for everybody that's trying to get their shot.
To the tabloids, getting their shots is all that matters.
Good evening. It's very important that we have photos that nobody else has. The photos that tell the story better than anybody else's photos.
And while you might think it's rude that all these people are trying to crash Liz's special day, there's a feeling in the tabloid press corps that they're as welcome as the guests.
She really wants the media attention, or she wouldn't have announced it and made the hoopla with it at Michael Jackson's.
This is a production. It is a very public, promotional production. There's no reason to think that Elizabeth Taylor doesn't welcome, in fact, is practically inviting the media.
Bye, Michael. See you at the wedding.
And stay with us in the coming days as the dramatic events unfold. The caterers, the florists, the dressmakers, the chimp keepers. We'll cover it all because it's there.
Charlie Chaplin had almost as many women in his life as Liz Taylor has had men in hers. Mitchell Fink is here now with some trade secrets about who may be playing the money ladies in an upcoming movie about the other two. Jim, the tug of war between Universal and Carolco Pictures over the right to turn legendary screen star Charlie Chaplin's life into a movie has been settled. The winner is Carolco. The movie, which will star Robert Downey Jr., is budgeted at somewhere between $40 and $50 million, depending on who you believe. As to who will be portraying the many women in Chaplin's life, sources tell me that director Richard Attenborough has tendered the following offer. The role of Chaplin's first wife, Paulette Goddard, has been offered to Diane Lane. Penelope Ann Miller can have the part of Chaplin's first leading lady, Edna Purviance, if she wants it. Marissa Tomei has been asked to portray Max Sennett's girlfriend, Mabel Normand. The role of Mary Pickford, Chaplin's partner at United Artists, is Robin Wright for the asking. And Winona Ryder, if she so desires, can be another Chaplin wife, Una O'Neill Chaplin. I'm Mitchell Fink, and let the word go forth that negotiations start now.
And Liz Smith is with us now from New York with some deep dish on still another batch of women.
Don't you love it when magazines do their annual or semi or biannual issues listing the 10 most beautiful women, the sexiest men, the hottest stars? A more absurd thing I can't imagine. But we always take a look to see if we agree. So here for our judgment is Harper's Bazaar's choice of the 10 most beautiful women ages 21 to 48. They are Glenn Close, Princess Stephanie of Monaco, Daryl Hannah, Lara Flynn Boyle, Annette Bening, Joanne Raleigh Kilmer, Sharon Stone, Renee Russo, Claudia Schiffer, and Faye Waddleton. I know there are a couple in there I hadn't heard of either. Well, anyway, I really can't believe Harper's Bazaar thinks Daryl Hannah, who's perfectly fine-looking, is, quote, more beautiful, unquote, than, say, Kim Basinger or Michelle Pfeiffer. And Glenn Close has never really been classed to beauty despite her magnificent skin and her great talent. So it all boils down to the eye of the beholder. Of course, the cover girl, Annette Bening, has caught the eye and heart of Warren Beatty, and she'll soon bear him his first child. She just had to be named. After all, Warren may be the only authentic living expert on beautiful women in the world. And if that's an exaggeration, well, then that's the same as certainly twisted through the mask. This is real.
When E.D.J. continues, celebrities run the autograph gauntlet after a Hollywood anniversary party.
After all, I am watching in LA.
There's a remarkable antiperspirant that's made to handle just about anything today's active man can dish out. Because it's made with a powerful active ingredient, but this antiperspirant isn't made for him. It's made for her. You see, her perspiration pH can be significantly higher than a man's. And this antiperspirant is pH balanced to work with a woman's chemistry to help keep her dry. What is this? It's today's secret salad. It's strong enough for a man, but it's pH balanced. Today's secret.
Try Halo. Formulated. Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer. They keep going and going and...
Well, here I go again. Up at the crack of dawn with 16 things to do. So Quaker Oats is important to me. It's pure oats, it's piping hot, and helps keep me going all morning. Quaker Oats. It's the right thing to do.
When things get tough, remember, Shake and Bake makes it easy to treat your family to plump, juicy pork chops without frying. Why fry? Shake and Bake. Why mess with frying? With a Shake, you can treat your family to crisp, juicy chicken without frying. Why fry? Shake and Bake.
I'm Teresa Richardson from Channel 8 Television. Basically, STV and World Network invite you to Free Homes for the Needy September 21st. Rich community development helps targeted home dinner earlier when the need is routine. More supplies the plate and groceries, you supply the rest. So please join us Saturday, September 21st and help Free Homes for the Needy. Call Reach at 231-0682 and find out how soon.
KGW-TV invites you to the Natural Gas Street of Dreams through September 29th, where there's 7-Up and 7-Up. To tour the 7 beautiful Street of Dreams homes at a discount, bring an empty 7-Up can and save $1.50 off one adult ticket Monday through Friday. $1.50 off for one empty can. This year at the Street of Dreams, your lucky number is definitely 7-Up.
Travel provided by American Airlines, together with American Eagle, serving over 270 destinations, including Europe, Central, and South America. American Airlines, something special in the air.
Finally, celebrity events are usually cordoned off affairs. The famous separated from the unfamous by barricades or lines of security guards. But at Liza Minnelli's concert, marking the 60th anniversary of the Greek Theater in Los Angeles over the weekend, the lines blurred and the celebrities were forced to mix with the masses. As we overheard, most enjoyed it.
Remember me, I was one of the circus fans. Walked off when I lost.
Oh, really? Wow, that's a good move. Shows good emotion. Hi, how are you?
I just want to thank you very much. You're very encouraging, and I made it to NYU.
Oh,
and,
did you?
Yes, so I just, it's wonderful I managed to talk to you in person.
Oh, that's great.
Really encouraging.
Birthday's in about 12 minutes.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It just made my year.
Good.
Did you see you at the Hollywood Bowl Easter Sunday service 7 years ago?
No, that was my sister.
That was a sister.
Go.
need us. Millions of movies, doesn't need a father. One autograph, one lousy autograph.
The star of the show played it smart, Liza Minnelli, entered into a back door, rarely on the rest of the family.
Tomorrow on E.D.J., when it comes to gay roles in film, Hollywood is still in the closet.
And celebrities go to bat for charity on the real field of dreams. I'm Jim Moreau.
And I'm Janet Zapala, and that's Entertainment Daily Journal.
See you tomorrow.